have her with us tonight. I couldn't be a bigger fan. It's Amy Poehler, ladies and gentlemen. What a thrill to have you here. Thank you so much for coming over. Come and join us. Hey, so before we start talking about you and start talking about your career, let's just talk about something which is touching all of us right now. Of course, tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Yes, yes.
Do you make a fuss of Valentine's Day?
Well, I don't. I mean, there was actually a fake holiday that we came up with on Parks and Rec called Galentine's Day, which was the day before Valentine's Day, where you celebrate with your female friends.
So your gal pals.
Yeah, so that I actually enjoy celebrating maybe more than Valentine's Day, which is a fake holiday, yes?
But do you do it, though? Do you actually do it in real life? Do you have a Galentine Day?
I did. This time last year, all the ladies from Saturday Night Live were in town in New York because we were celebrating the 40th anniversary of SNL, so we actually had a dinner. So I'll have to find some female friends here. Some gals.
Well, I think you won't have any trouble.
Some gals.
Have you ever had a bad Valentine's gift or a super good Valentine's gift?
I remember in high school we had something where you could give a carnation to someone in your class, and there was some. I'm having some post-traumatic stress thinking about that because you would just sit in your classroom just waiting to see if a carnation came to you. And I think I may have sent myself a carnation.
Wow.
Just so I wouldn't be embarrassed on the day.
Wow.
I know, it's a real low point.
Yeah.
I pretended I was my own boyfriend.
That's it.
Yeah, I hope you guys feel bad for me about that. Yeah, thanks.
So, we're talking about awards right now.
Yeah.
And you and Tina Fey, when you hosted the Golden Globes, I do not think I have ever seen the job of hosting an award show done better.
Thank you very much.
And
it was
with
very
respect
fun.
to Stephen Fry's doing BAFTA this weekend, but I think you guys, you set a standard there. Was there doubt when you were first asked to do it? Did you have second thoughts at all, or did you know this was something you would have fun with?
We're lucky that show people get to drink, and that makes a big difference.
And it's what I find fascinating about the Golden Globes is the fact it's the only award show of that sort where you do have the TV people there with the film people.
Yes, you have the beautiful film people rubbing shoulders with this disgusting rat-faced people at TV. But yeah, it's a strange night with strange nominees.
Yeah.
And weird speeches, so it's good for comedy.
There's a moment I have here. This is a picture of Amy co-hosting the Golden Globes. There you go.
Oh, yes. George.
So you're keeping George's lap warm.
Yeah. I was walking by, I was busy working, and I was walking by, and George said, come sit on my lap. And I said, not now, George. And he started to cry or something, so I felt bad for him.
You know what? We've got this far in the interview, and I haven't mentioned one of my favourite things that you've been involved in, and one of my favourite things of all time, Parks and Rec. I don't know how many fans we have in Parks and Rec. Because I don't know what channel was it over here?
I don't know. It's so interesting that American comedies and British comedies have this weird thing where I don't know why we can't watch each other's stuff. It's very strange. I mean, I was just saying backstage that we used to trade VCR tapes of, like, The Day Today, you know, like, and Alan Partridge, because we couldn't get it. For people who haven't seen it, and you could buy it on DVD, and I would urge you to do that, but how would you describe the show and the character, Very quickly, it's about a politician with big dreams and very little power, local Parks and Recreation employee, Leslie Knope, who believes that she can make a difference. And it's the bunch of wackadoos that work with her.
But it's just sweet and funny, and what a cast, of course. You had Aziz Ansari on it. He was on the show a few weeks back.
The world-famous Chris Pratt.
Well, that's the thing. Chris Pratt, who we now know as one of the...
Aziz Ansari, hilarious.
He's the hot action star guy now. And there he was back when he had a dad bod.
Yeah.
He was like a regular-shaped guy.
Yeah, I remember him preparing for this movie called Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, well, that's never going to work. Little did I know.
But he's super funny in it as well.
He's a supreme guy, incredibly funny and incredibly talented, and also just like a leading man. Yeah. But he's also tall, which is rare for an actor.
Are they normally pretty tiny?
They're usually tiny.
Wow.
Little teeny tinies.
And you're not a tall woman, but you're not a short woman.
Thank you. I am a short woman.
Well,
I'm 5'2", which I think is below average.
Oh, that is small.
Yeah.
It's not that small. I once went out with a girl who was 4'11½".
Really?
And she will not let it go. It was 30 years ago. Well, she was a shorter person.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
Yeah.
But you must miss, when you've worked for that long
Yeah.
with the team of people, and clearly you could just sense from the show that you guys were getting along. I guess you must miss them. Do you have
I do. I miss
reunions?
them all very much. I would love to find some excuse to have a reunion with them again. I love them.
Let me ask you about Inside Out, because
Okay.
Inside Out was... I mean, I love animated movies generally. I love Pixar, of course, and Disney films, but what a lovely, what a charming, and what a thought-provoking film as well.
Yeah, it was so good.
And I guess quite a tough part to play, because you're playing the character, well, the emotion of joy.
Yes.
But I guess you have to modulate that kind of performance somewhat.
Well, you know, one could get really sick of that character, but joy is the kind of the engine that moves the story along. And the wonderful moral of the film and the story is that it's okay to be sad, basically, to teach children that you don't always have to be happy all the time. There's a lot of emotions going on, and sadness can kind of inform you and support you in ways that you never imagined. But so Joy has to give up the reins, and she's in control. And I had to make sure that she wasn't the kind of character you just wanted to slap all the time.
So I guess if she was too crazy, over-the-top happy all the time, that's too much, and if she isn't enough, then...
Yeah, she would be a psychopath, I guess. Yeah.
I think many people's favourite character in it, and this is... Please don't take this in any way dismissive of your contribution, but Anger, the character of Anger, I don't know, did your kids like the movie? Did they like one character? Did they love seeing...
They love Anger. Anger is their favourite because when he yells, fire comes out of the top of his head, which is just a great gag. And also, he misbehaves.
Yeah.
You know, and he just says all that. They're two young boys, so they just love anyone that says no.
Yeah.
And does the opposite of what they're supposed to do. And Lewis Black did the voice of that, and he was amazing.
Well, let's have a look. This is a little burst of Inside Out.
All right, open.
This looks new.
Think it's safe?
What is it?
Okay, caution. There is a dangerous smell, people. Hold on, what is that?
This is disgust. She basically keeps Riley from being poisoned, physically and socially.
That is not brightly colored or shaped like a dinosaur. Hold on, guys. It's broccoli! Yeah! Well, I just saved our lives. Yeah, you're welcome.
Riley, if you don't eat your dinner, you're not gonna get any dessert.
Wait, did he just say we couldn't have dessert?
That's Anger. He cares very deeply about things being fair.
So that's how you want to play it, old man? No dessert? Oh, sure. We'll eat our dinner right after you eat this.
Right, here comes an airplane.
Oh, airplane. We got an airplane, everybody.
It makes sense. Okay. Let me ask you about Saturday Night Live, because that, of course, it was already a legendary show. It was the benchmark for comedy in that country, probably globally as well. What about the guest stars on the show? Because working on that show, you have the most phenomenal list of guest hosts coming through. You had John Hamm on, and I think you were heavily pregnant when he was on the show.
I was. I wrote about this in my book. There was a funny instance where I was due to give birth on that Saturday, and it was the Friday before, and I made the mistake of thinking that my child was going to play along with these plans. But I was supposed to do SNL, and John was the host, and we were rehearsing something, and I got a phone call and burst into tears. And a heavily pregnant woman crying is scary. And I informed him that my beloved OBGYN had just passed away of a heart attack. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. And I was just standing there, and I said, my doctor just died, and I'm due to deliver tomorrow. And everyone got very quiet, and he just leaned in and said, this is a really important show for me, and I need you to get your shit together. And it was awesome. Awesome. And then I ended up giving birth the next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And missing the show.
And he's never forgiven you.
Yeah. And he went on to fame and fortune.
I'm so glad you came on the show because,
Jonathan, thank you.
I hope this doesn't sound in any way patronising or condescending, but I love your work because there is a humanity and an intelligence that shines through your work, which I think transcends even the most basic premise if you were involved in something broad. I always think you're a joy to watch.
Thank you very much. I'm so pleased to be here. Thanks for having me.
Amy Poehler, ladies and gentlemen. Still to come on the show, we'll be joined by Sacha Baron Cohen, Stephen Fry and Ramesh Ranganathan, so don't go away.
Setting the stage for adventure. The new Renault Kadjar sponsors the Jonathan Ross Show.
If you're paying through the nose for broadband, you might be tempted to give up and become a full-time off-grid spoon whittler. But wait, PlusNet has an offer you're going to love. unlimited broadband free for 12 months when you take line rental.
How many spoons do you really need? That's better.
Free unlimited broadband now with